Hi guys, it's Yasmin, and today I will be talking about 5 differences between Japan and Australia. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Alright, let's begin. I want to reserve my seat. I guess I'll just... Alright, time to go. I almost forgot my phone. That was close. That was a close one. I think that Australia in general is a really safe country, but you are probably more likely to have your belongings stolen in Australia than in Japan. I was really surprised when I went to Japan and people would leave their phone or their laptop on the table to reserve their seat, which for me as an Australian is kind of crazy because I couldn't imagine just putting my stuff down, like my laptop or my phone, and not worrying about it maybe being stolen. The other thing is a lot of people will put their phone or their wallet in the top section of their bag because I guess it's easy to access. But for someone from Australia or just generally, I would be worried that my phone or wallet could get stolen. So I usually keep my phone or my wallet at the very bottom section of my bag. If you come to Australia, don't be scared that all your stuff is going to be stolen since it's unlikely. But I would say definitely be more cautious and just aware of your belongings and where they are and just keeping an eye on them compared to if you're in Japan. Riding a bike in Japan versus Australia is a completely different experience. In Japan, I rode a bike when I was living in Sapporo and I found it really convenient. I really enjoyed it. I always felt safe and there were so many people riding their bikes that it was very normal. Whereas in Australia, I usually wouldn't ride my bike at all. It's a little bit scary to do bike riding in Australia. The reason for this is that you have to ride your bike next to the cars, so you have to ride on the road, the main road, and unfortunately cars in Australia don't really pay attention to bikes. Since not many people ride bikes, cars just sort of forget that bikes exist, and so lots of people have sort of accidents if they're riding their bike, and it's quite dangerous. So you have to be quite confident to ride a bike in Australia. And yeah, so I never ride my bike in Australia. The other difference is that actually bike helmets are necessary in Australia. I believe you are fined if you don't have the correct helmet or the correct lights and things like that. So you will always see someone wearing a bike helmet in Australia, but I think it was a bit more unusual in Japan. So I have to sign this. And this. And this. And this. Okay. I'll do that. So I just need to download this app and click this button and it's all done? Great! Okay, so the next one is paper. And the reason I chose this is because I know for me personally, moving to Japan required so much paperwork. Like, so much paper. It was ridiculous. I was so confused. Like, what is this form? What is this form? It was a little bit challenging, but I was really surprised that Japan still uses like a lot of paper for everything, like signing documents, for like your rent, just anything really. Lots and lots of paper is involved. Whereas I think in Australia, pretty much everything is done online nowadays, like with your, paying your bills or doing things like online banking or getting a phone plan or university studies, things like that. It can all be done online, which I guess is what I expected when I came to Japan, but that wasn't the case. But that's fine, it's just a different way of doing things. I think that maybe this has changed a little bit because of COVID, obviously to avoid spreading germs and that kind of thing. But definitely when I was in Japan, I noticed lots of paper, lots of paperwork.
まもなく2番線に電車が参ります。
My train's here already.
The 2:43 train has been delayed. The next train is expected in 20 minutes.
Number 4, trains. This is something that I missed so much when I came back to Australia. I think Japanese trains are great. They are generally always on time and they are clean and people are polite, like they're not noisy on the train. Generally speaking, it is really enjoyable riding the train in Japan and I don't feel inconvenienced by it. Whereas in Australia, or actually Melbourne specifically, trains are just late like all the time. I almost expect the train to be late. So if you come to Australia, do expect things to be a little bit slow, a little bit late. So give yourself some extra time to get to places. The other thing is that like trains in Australia can be a bit noisy because there are no rules about talking on trains or anything like that. So a lot of people will be quite loud or they might be like on the phone or listening to music very loudly. So that's pretty common as well. So just be aware if you come to Australia. Yes, you can talk on the trains and buses, but it may be really loud. So yeah, I guess there are positives and negatives to that. I'm feeling a bit hungry. Maybe I should go to the shops. Closed already? It's only 5 p.m. I'm feeling a bit hungry. Maybe I should go to the convenience store. Great! Number 5, convenience stores. So Australia has a few convenience stores, like we have 7-Eleven and some other ones probably. I don't really know because I don't go to them very often. They're a little bit expensive and they're only sort of in the city areas. So I would usually go to like the supermarket or just like a cafe or something like that if I needed to buy something. Obviously in Japan, they have heaps of convenience stores, but I would say if you're in Australia, you probably won't use them or not very often. In Australia, shops usually close around like 5 p.m. or 9 p.m. depending on the day. On the weekends, shops and things are usually open a bit later, but things do close quite early in Australia. I think in general, convenience stores in Japan are a lot better than convenience stores in Australia. So yeah, if you come to Australia, make sure that you grab all the food or whatever it is that you need when you are at the supermarket or when you have the chance, because as I mentioned before, shops do close early. You're not going to be able to go to somewhere late at night and grab something quickly and that kind of thing. I think it's really interesting that Japan and Australia have so many different ways of doing things and different cultures in some ways as well. So I find that really interesting. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about, you know, some of these differences as well. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think, or if you have come to Australia before and experienced any culture shock or noticed any differences, as I would love to hear it. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and please subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!